So today I will be focusing on whitewashing and whitening in the African Canadian community, and how colonialism has affected Black women specifically. And my main thesis is, part one is that what I said before, by upholding, by whitewashing, and whitening up, which can be seen as bleaching. It can be seen as damaging your hair, curving it, relaxing it to get that straight type of hair that's in closer proximity to whiteness and further away from blackness. By doing stuff like that, knowingly and unknowingly, we are perpetuating colonial legacies. These colonizers, from the past, are dead, but their legacies are still living. And it's weird because legacies have a way of surviving beyond us, and the legacy that colonialism has left for us, specifically in relation to Black women, is that we're not pretty. By believing these things, in my opinion, I think that we're actually carrying on this legacy, whether we know it or not, and we are perpetuating it. We are teaching our daughters it. We are teaching our sons it, because men also bleach, men also perm their hair, straighten their hair. The second part, which the curly crown kind of comes into play, is that there are actually brands out there, products out there, that are more than just products and brands that are trying to make Black women feel beautiful. That is an essential part. But I think it's deeper than that. I think it's more about these products. These brands are actually shields, and they're actually weapons that help us first protect us from these legacies that are penetrating our minds subconsciously, consciously. And second, they are weapons. And they're not weapons of violence, but they're weapons that are helping us to combat these legacies, these stereotypes, these myths about Black beauty, and these so-called truths about white beauty. So these are more than just products that make us look beautiful. These are products that are actually helping us. They're actually helping us actively fight. Every time we put on these products in our hair and we look in the mirror, it's not a decision to make our curls look bouncier only and merely. It's a decision every day. It's a fight every day to fight these colonial ideas, and to choose actively, not have to actively choose to not be a part of it and to separate ourselves from it.
Hi, my name is Ayisi Ibrahim, and when I first relaxed my hair, I was in grade 6. It was my graduation. All the girls in my school's hair was relaxed, and I never really took care of my hair. So my hair, everyone used to be straighten your hair, but then when I straightened my hair, because I was 11, 12 years old, I couldn't do it properly. So I begged my mom for literally since grade 4 or 5 to relax my hair, and then she finally gave up in grade 6, and it was my graduation. She got me a relaxer, which was not a perm, so it wasn't as harsh. So I used that. I would just start breaking, and I would just straighten it all the time, to the point where I had bald spot right here, which to this day it just recently grew back fully. It wasn't always bald, but it was just very thinning. Then I continued into high school, and then I think I stopped probably at the end of high school, because I saw more girls with natural hair and curly hair, and I didn't have any. And I had my little sister whose hair was always nice and curly. The youngest one, the one in the middle, her hair was, we both were only a couple years apart, so we both relaxed our hair at the same time. We both didn't really know what our curl pattern was, because the fact that we had relaxed our hair from such a young age. And so I feel once I hit high school, and it wasn't even, I think my self journey was watching other people. Then when I got out of high school, it was more about myself. My hair was about me and not what other people's notions were. But I remember going to prom, straightening my hair, putting in a bunch of weave, having all this hair, and then I was I think it was 4 days after prom, I was yo, forget this shit. What can I cut?
Yeah.
Okay. Forget it. I'm just gonna cut off all my hair. So it was like 2:30, and I just came home from work, and then I was like just chilling at home, and I was like to my sister, I'm like, cut off my hair. Like, I'm sick of this. Once people realized how healthy my hair was, and once I started to properly learn how to take care of my hair and how to moisturize and how to do all this type of stuff, that's when I felt more confident. It wasn't about length, it wasn't about thickness, it was more like, oh, now I know how to make my hair look good. Like not straight hair, not like, how do I make my hair look good? Once I figured that out, I felt more confident. I felt like I could, like, I didn't care what anyone said. So I think the connection between things like relaxers in your hair and I guess whitewashing or having this image of white beauty or these standards of beauty that are European, like Eurocentric, is our hair is like not naturally supposed to be straight. So doing something like from a young age, I think my issue more is like when people are so young wanting to look like, you know, like they're like, I want blonde hair, I want this. Like, I understand if it's like a fun thing, but when you're a kid, you don't understand that. I find the intent behind it is what like matters the most. If your intentions are, I want to look more white, I want to, like, even things like contouring or contacts, if your intentions are like, I want to not look like myself and not look how I naturally look, versus I want to experiment with my look, is very different. Like, if you're, I feel like when it comes to young kids, they don't know, like, maybe, like, yeah, to a certain age, they don't know what experimenting is, but they just want to do it because they see the little white girl on the playground, and she gets all the boys, or she gets, like, people calling her pretty all the time. So you see that, and of course you're gonna want it, especially as a kid. Like, there's no reason, even like as adults, there's no reason to not want to feel like that. You know what I mean? There's no reason. There is a reason, obviously, but like at that young age, you don't get it. Like, you're not fully aware, and even adults are now not fully aware, and wanting to, you know, do things like bleach or relax their hair or put color contacts or completely change their image to look something that their mom doesn't look like, their grandma doesn't look like. Nobody looks like that. So I feel like it's a much deeper issue, because you're sending an image to other, like, black kids when you're an adult, obviously, that it's not okay to look like how you look like when you're like how you are. Like, it's not okay to look how you are and who you are. And it's not okay to look like your ancestors and your mom and your dad and everyone, your family and your people. So yeah, that's what I feel like connects relaxing. It's more about the intent and the like longing to want to look like a white person.
We're going to go to a black hair salon that we've been going to for a couple of years, and we're just going to be analyzing the products there and seeing how there's a combination of both products that promote black beauty, but there's an overwhelming amount of products that demean black beauty, demonize it, and how these products, while they're supposed to be selling them to a black audience predominantly, they're still promoting standards of white beauty that are not recent. These are standards that have been here since colonialism, and how black women buy these products, and by buying these products knowingly and unknowingly, we perpetuate these standards of white beauty. We uphold them by choosing to buy them, choosing to use them, and it has a lot to do with anti-blackness.
More saving, more doing.
Lectures for young girls, and these are called Just For Me. These are products for kids, which I think is crazy, because it's like these products are already being sold to young girls. And it's so funny because I took a picture of 3 of them. All these girls, it always says it's good for kids. They say stuff like children's course, or they say stuff like no lie relaxer. No Lie, which is supposed to be a better relaxer, but even still, it's relaxer. They try to sell like this part, like, oh, it's for natural hair, it's supposed to make your hair nicer, and they put all these things on the side that are supposed to be like, oh, it's good for your hair, like you have natural oils in it, but ultimately it's damaging your hair, and ultimately it's following a white standard. At the same time, there were good products. Like I took a picture of my products, which I have, like, I should have brought it, but my product is basically Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie, and I think it's like such an amazing product. It's what's been helping me to get back to my beautiful natural hair that I damaged when I was younger by straightening. And yeah, it's like a smoothie that helps to like bring out my curls more. So it relates to the book because Ifeolumilu goes on happykinkynappy.com, and it's a natural hair community, and that's where she finds inspiration. And that whole space is a space where Ifeolumilu learns how to love her hair. It's a space where she learns different methods of taking care of her hair, protective methods, and it's a place where Black women are loving on each other and commenting on each other's pictures. She says, "My hair journey has been a trying one. It doesn't matter how much I have grown to love my hair. Every day I make a decision to fight deceitful thoughts that claim some sort of ease, comfort, or strength if I were to straighten my hair. I've become so aware of the kinds of access/excess to privilege chemical hair treatments would gift me. But I think my journey and my particular decision to join Curly Crown Canada has asked the question, at what cost? Colonial legacies, particularly in regards to physical beauty, esteem a kind of visual proximity to whiteness. And I recognize that my lighter brown skin and manageable, scare quotes, and my manageable curls credit me with that kind of visual privilege. So for me, my natural hair journey is a political one, a growth that is dependent on recognizing my privileges while also reclaiming the narratives of my North African lineage that has been so bleached severely. My own blood is tainted in colonial mystique. Internalized racism and self-hate eat away at my progress and my right to self-determine in a way that is honest to my heart and mind. And I think nurturing communities, Curly Crown Canada being just one, allows me to combat those lies with more strength than just will. Access to products, helpful question and answer sessions, validation, solidarity, and understanding ear. I am never outside the shadow of the colonial project, and my relationship to the current colonial ideal is a contradictory one. But my decision to embrace my curls stands as a direct threat to that ideal, and in it, at my most majestic natural curly head state, I defy my erased history, and I am most mentally able and present to expose complicity to the continuing of the colonial project as a settler on stolen land. I know this may seem extreme in a discussion around natural hair, but for me, I can't talk about my natural hair without talking about my roots. In all its glory and majesty, each a necessary decolonizing voyage. In this time, I have been able to recognize how invaluable confidence is, how money can't buy ancestral blood. It has been a direct factor in decolonizing my mind and growing to commit to what I have as majestic. At the same time, by not treating your hair and refraining from using products that damage your hair, or such as like relaxing and perming, straightening too, which is like heat damage, it's part of decolonization. It's part of breaking down, dismantling these colonial ideas, and she calls it this colonial project that is still being built and that is still being worked out. Every day that she chooses not to treat her hair, it's a part of decolonizing her mind, as she says. I think it's more than just beauty and protective hairstyles in terms of like creams and like protecting from like relaxing, but more so protecting from these colonial ideas that are attacking our bodies. That's what I want to make clear, like attacking our bodies. It may not be like killing us with guns and with swords or whatever, but it's about slowly killing us as the felony goes through. Like, it's like she loses a sense of herself and a piece of herself. Her hair is falling off and she gets a kilo in her hair, like burning her skin and her hair for beauty. These are shields that are protecting us from this murder that doesn't seem so direct, but it's there and it's concealed. But this legacy that is so prominent is not over, and it's still affecting us. And I think that India Ari's song, which talks about I am not my hair, is amazing because it says I am not my hair is not who I am, it doesn't define me, but at the same time it celebrates black hair. I am not my hair, I am not this skin, I am not your expectations, no. I am not my hair, I am not this skin, I everything.